What's up guys, this is Jay with Bearded Dad Fishing, and today we're going over my complete kayak setup on my Old Town Sportsman Autopilot 136. Now this is a really big kayak and the setup is a little more advanced, and when I say advanced, I don't mean professional by any means. I just mean there's a lot of accessories on here that you don't necessarily need starting out. But before we get to that, dad joke of the day: why can't bass keep secrets? Because they have large mouths. That dad joke is brought to you by Dan Martinez of the Facebook group Kayak Fishing Dads. If you're not part of the group, jump on over there on Facebook and join the conversation. So this is the Old Town Sportsman Autopilot 136, and it is a big hunkin' kayak, 140 pounds with the motor and the seat, 13.5 feet long, and it is big. It's very comfortable, huge open deck space, and the main reason I got this kayak, besides my love for Old Town, is this motor. So it is the Minn Kota motor with the spot lock, and what that allows you to do is you can hit the anchor button on your remote control and it'll lock you into place within 5 feet of the GPS coordinate that you hit that button. So it's really nice if you're fishing rivers, if you're fishing anywhere with a lot of current or a lot of wind, and that's why I got that. So being that it's such a big kayak, you have to have a trailer or a good cart. So I have it currently on a trailer. This is my first year using the trailer, so if you see me backing up 100 times at your boat launch, that's why. I'm still learning. But if you don't have the trailer, that's okay. You need to get yourself a good kayak cart, and I've mentioned this cart several times on a bunch of my videos, and I live and die by this cart. This is the Wilderness Systems heavy duty kayak cart. It's 220 bucks, so it is not cheap, but you get what you pay for, especially when it comes to a kayak cart. It makes lugging around your kayak over any distance much easier and a much more pleasant experience. And these are the wheels that you don't have to inflate, so they're just non-inflatable plastic wheels. And if you launch a lot from the surf or where there's sand, they do have the inflatable beach wheels as well. But I love this cart, and just like all the accessories that we're gonna go through today, I'm linking them in the description below. And before I forget, I did do an on-the-water review of this kayak, which I'll link down below. And I love this thing, man. It is very, very stable. If you're a big boy like me, you want something that's a nice, steady platform, this is your kayak, okay? And we're gonna go through these items kind of in order of importance. So I should have really started with number one, which is a PFD. You need a life jacket. I don't care what kayak you have. I don't care how good of a swimmer you are. You need one. I won't harp on this too much longer, but this is the Onyx AM24 inflatable life jacket. These run for about 110, 120 bucks. I was lucky enough to find this on clearance at my local Walmart for $45, and occasionally you'll find them at Academy on clearance as well. But it's an automatic / manual, which means if it senses water, it will auto inflate, or you can just pull the little tab on there and it'll inflate as well. And after it inflates, you do need to get another recharge tube, which is about 20 bucks, so not a big deal. But you need a life jacket for sure, okay? Next on up, what you definitely need is a kayak crate. So this is a crate that I made myself. I did a video, so I'll link it down below in the description of how to make your own. It's very, very simple, not difficult at all. And if someone as unhandy as me can do it, you can do it too. This crate holds my rods, holds all my lures, holds my gear on top that I need. I love this thing. It helps you stay organized on the water. There's no way you can be out there fishing recreationally or for tournaments or anything else without keeping your tackle organized, okay? You can go minimalist and just grab a couple plain old boxes and store them under your seat, and that's perfect too. But if you have more than just a couple tackle boxes, get yourself a kayak crate. And only two things I'll mention that's inside my kayak crate that I will consider something you definitely need to have. First one is a small first aid kit. I just made this one myself, but it has bandages, has some antiseptic cream, some liquid bandage, and alcohol wipes. So it's not gonna take care of anything major, like if you know, some major bleeding issues or whatever, but if you get a hook in yourself or you cut yourself, it's good to have one of these with you at all times. And secondly, what you definitely need to have, especially if you have a motor or a pedal drive, is get yourself a repair kit. So this came with my Old Town, so it's a little tackle box, but I filled it up with things that I need, like shear pins, little wrenches, extra screws, a screwdriver, props, zip ties, electrical tape, all that type of stuff is things that you might run into that you need in the water. And if you're out 2, 3, 4, 5 hours from your house, it's good to just have that. I've had to bust it open and grab a zip tie now and then. Thankfully, nothing major that I've had to take out of there, but certainly have yourself a repair kit in your crate. Next thing is a fishing net. I got this from Bass Pro, just some rubber netting, nice big fishing net that collapses. I keep this on my rear mounted, flush mounted rod holder, and it keeps it out of the way from me. So I really like this. If you're planning on landing fish, get yourself a net. Enough said. Next on up is a safety piece. Now this is a 360 light from Yak Attack. It's the Visi Pro, and it allows you to be seen in the water if the sun's coming down or if it's early in the morning. So this is the Visi Pro from Yak Attack. It just twists on and twists off at the top, real simple, and it collapses to make it take down a lot easier and portable. So definitely recommend a 360 light if you're getting out there early in the morning or late at night. And in the rear tank well ahead of the crate, I have a battery box that I built, which I'll go over in just a bit so we can discuss all the electronics together. I also have a Kayak Cooler, which I love this thing. It straps right to the back of the chair with these little bungee cords, with bungee ball cords, and these things nice. So it's awesome to keep your fish in there if you're catching to keep. Also, if you're trying to keep some refreshments or some snacks cool, this thing is definitely worth it. I did a video review, which I'll tag below as well, of this specific Kayak Cooler. And moving on up, we have the paddle, which of course, have a paddle out there. Even if you have a motor or pedal drive, you need one. You don't have to have a good one. This is a $20 one from Walmart, and absolutely necessary in case your battery dies, you break a prop or your shear pin or whatever. So get yourself a paddle. I also have coffee, which is essential when you're out there, especially early mornings. So this has not 1 but 2 cup holders. So if you were kind of on the fence about getting it, now you know you definitely need this kayak for the 2 cup holders, double the coffee. As we move on up, you'll see the fish finder. This is a Garmin UHD 93 SV, which I have connected to that battery in the back via the Yakpower system, which I'll show you in a bit. And my boomstick from Yak Attack for my GoPro, and my magnetic lure dish. So this thing is incredible. I did a video outlining the best accessories for the kayaks, and that was probably the one that got the most amount of comments and reactions. This is a magnetic dish you can buy from the hardware store, and it has a 1/4-inch hole drilled in the middle with a T-bolt and a wing nut, and it just slides right onto your rail, and it holds onto your lures throughout the day. So instead of putting my lures back away for the day, I just throw them in there and then handle it later on. So it's a really nice little mod or hack you can have on there. And on the other side of the kayak, we have a Ketch Board, and I have this because I do tournaments every now and then, and these are approved by all national and local tournament trails. So this Ketch Board's about 70 to 75 bucks if I recall. This is the Ketch X, so it's a full aluminum 26-inch board. It's pretty heavy and it sinks really fast. So keep a tether on it, and that way you won't lose it if it drops into the water. But if you're fishing tournaments, you certainly need to get that Ketch Board, or a Ketch Board, any kind. They also have a plastic one, which is really sweet as well, and that one floats, I believe. And moving on back, underneath the seat is where the magic happens for the motor. So this is the battery specifically for that trolling motor, and it's connected via this electrical connection right here, and that runs all the way to the front to the motor. Now you can get yourself a solid lead acid battery. They're much cheaper, but they're also more limited, and they're really heavy. So like a 100 amp hour solid sealed lead acid battery is probably 60 pounds, and this battery is much lighter. This is a Redodo lithium ion phosphate battery. It's 100 amp hours, and it's only 28 pounds if I recall, so half the weight of a sealed lead acid battery. And I love Redodo. So I'm actually doing a video review on this specific battery coming up, but make sure you go over to their website, and I will include a discount code below in the description. And if you go over there, you'll get a discount on your battery. And they don't just have 100 amp hours, they have 200, 300, they have 50, they have 12s, they have everything. I also have their 50 amp hour battery, and I've had it for 2 years and it's been awesome. I've been using that for my accessories, for my fish finder, my lights, everything else, and I've never had an issue. I can run that thing for 4 or 5 trips without having to recharge it. One of my favorite accessories / modifications is my Yakpower relay switch. So I keep that right in my center hall under my seat behind my trolling motor battery, and this is the system right here. So I did an install on this exact same system on my 120 PDL, and I'll link that in the description below. It can seem like a very daunting install, but it's very simple. And again, if someone as unhandy as myself can get it done, you can certainly do it. And what it allows you to do is that you route all your electronics to that relay switch and connect that relay switch to your battery. So I have my battery here, which is connected to this plug, and that plug runs to the power on this Yakpower system. And then all these 5 connections go out to the various electronics on the kayak. So since I'm just starting to mess around with this kayak, I only have 2 things connected to it. I have my fish finder and I have my button lights in the middle. And I'll have my GoPro 2 running for all day power, which I'm going to be installing tomorrow. And the install is very simple, and it's all controlled by this Bluetooth controller. So as soon as you hit the button, it turns on, and I have my lights, my little button lights right here, set to M. So you see, as soon as you hit the button, the lights turn on, off. So you can put your bow lights to one, you can put your inside lights to another, your fish finder to another, your power plug to another. You can do all types of stuff. If you have a power pole, you could mount it to one of those or connect it to one of those and control it through that. So it's very nice to have if you have multiple electronics. And the Yakpower system is kind of all in one, and it even has, so that's the 5 gang. They have an 8 gang that allows you to connect up to 8 different accessories to it. So it's wild. Again, I'll put a link in the description below. Make sure you click the link and head on over there if you're interested in doing any of that. And another accessory that's on here, and out of full transparency, I didn't install this when I bought this kayak, it was already on there, but it is super useful. It is the Yak Attack anchor trolley. So let me get this paddle out of this way here, but it allows you to attach an anchor to this, and then you can just trolley the anchor to wherever you want on the kayak. And the idea behind this is if you're fishing on a river and you throw out your anchor, you want to be able to position yourself so you're with the flow. So if you want to face upstream, you can run that trolley all the way back or front to position yourself where you want to be. So if you fish a lot of rivers, an anchor trolley is definitely something you should look into. They're not very expensive at all. And last but not least, I've mentioned this before, is I have cam straps to hold down my kayak. I don't do ratchet straps because you can over tighten them and crack your hull, but get yourself some cam straps that you can hand tighten essentially, and that way you don't risk cracking or breaking anything. And if you can, get yourself a camo color, because camo is the strongest of all the colors. And that's my setup for the year on my Old Town Sportsman Autopilot 136. Check out my other videos. My most popular one is the 7 kayaks for big dudes. Really good information if you're a big boy like me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, what you like about the setup, what you do different. And that's it, guys. Till next time, peace and God bless.